And it's time for MediaWatch now. Crossing over the desk, Emma James is here. Hi, Emma.
Hi.
And you've been looking today at the reactions coming through to the death of Jo Cox, the British politician, just one day afterwards. These reactions, kind of people trying to weigh up what happened.
Yes, people really trying to come to terms with what was such a brutal and shocking act, and the reverberations being felt right across the United Kingdom, but nowhere more so than in West Yorkshire, where, of course, Jo Cox was born, brought up, and where she was elected to be a Member of Parliament. The Yorkshire Evening Post's editor tweeted this morning: "We wake not quite believing what happened yesterday. I hope we did you proud, Jo." And their front page features just the words "Our Jo," alongside a quotation from the statement from her husband Brendan, in which he said he hoped that the pair's children would be bathed in love and that people would unite to fight the hatred that had killed his wife. Many people in some way hoping that there can be something positive to take out of this terrible, terrible tragedy. Alison Pearson, a journalist for The Telegraph, says that for the UK to take in the 3,000 unaccompanied Syrian children that Jo Cox had campaigned for will be both a fitting tribute and a living memorial to her. Others, though, really just very angry about the way in which this EU referendum has played out in the United Kingdom. Robert Harris, the author, tweeting this: "How foul this referendum is, the most depressing, divisive, duplicitous political event of my lifetime. May there never be another." Owen Jones, the Guardian journalist, says, "I love this country, but never have I been so scared about it. The growing bitterness, resentment and hatred is genuinely frightening." And there are continued disagreements really on how the death and the stories that follow should be treated. Louise Mensch, a former Conservative MP, has written this on the right-wing news site that she now runs, saying that politicising Jo Cox's death is the worst. She claims that far, far too many on the Remain side of the referendum campaign have used Cox's tragic death for political point scoring, but she doesn't go on to name any names. On the other side of the fence, The Spectator caused quite a bit of controversy with a blog that was posted yesterday, A Day of Infamy, by Alex Massey. It was actually taken down before being reposted, with some of the lines taken out. In it, he says things like, "When you encourage rage, you cannot then feign surprise when people become enraged." The edited version you can find on Twitter. People have posted what was originally said, so that you can judge for yourself just how inflammatory you believe those comments to be.
And that kind of language of hate and also of fear, have really been thrown into the spotlight with this event. There's one particular campaign poster that's caused a lot of controversy, isn't there?
Yes, absolutely. Breaking Point is the title on the poster. It was launched by Nigel Farage shortly before the events in West Yorkshire. And it is basically, by some, deemed to be inciting racial hatred, so much so that some people have actually commented and called the police and reported it as a crime. A prominent Conservative Leave campaigner, Boris Johnson, though, has distanced himself from this particular image. The interesting thing to note is that the photograph was actually taken on the Croatia-Slovenia border in 2015. So this has nothing to do with, this is not rampaging hordes appearing on the coast of Kent. This is an image that has been used to portray a particular story, and some people feel that that really isn't right, that it should be used in that way. You'll also notice that the only prominent person in this photograph has actually been covered by the words "Leave the European Union" and a white box, just to emphasise the fact that really they're trying to ratchet up the racist element of this. Also on Twitter, people have been pointing out the similarities between this image and images seen in a Nazi propaganda movie. So very, very hateful stuff emerging. Whether or not that was the Leave campaign's intention, that parallel is there. Now, other people are pointing fun at this and really trying to make light of it and say, you know, their piece, but with a little bit of humour. And some of the best versions of the posters, as they have been fixed by Twitter users. This one, Breaking Point, with a sea of Farages. Another one here with English football hooligans replacing the crowds of migrants. And Steve Bell for The Guardian has this one, the words "breaking point" replaced by "hating point."
It's good to see that people haven't lost a little bit of their sense of sarcastic humour there. Emma James with the MediaWatch, thank you very much for that. And